Welcome back to the Deep Dive. Today, we're essentially doing triage. We've got this really comprehensive cybersecurity threat brief.
Yeah.
It covers the second half of September 2025.
Yeah, it's dense stuff. A real snapshot of the cyber battlefield globally.
Exactly. And our mission here is to cut through that complexity fast. We want to distill this down into, actionable knowledge for you.
Turning intel into something usable.
Right off the bat, the stakes are, they're screaming high. The exec summary flags this immediate major concern. A real uptick in attacks targeting critical network infrastructure, specifically Cisco ASA and iOS XE devices.
And let's be clear, these aren't your home Wi-Fi routers.
No, not at all. These are the serious firewalls, the core routers, the central nervous system of a network.
So if attackers get into these, it's way beyond just stealing some data.
It's full network takeover territory, potentially catastrophic.
Precisely. And when we pull apart this report, what we're really doing is tracking the strategic shifts of, everyone. State actors, criminals.
Where are they putting their effort?
Exactly. It seems the focus is shifting. Less about just grabbing credentials, maybe, and more about getting that deep, persistent control over core systems.
So this brief really maps that out.
It shows where the resources are going, yeah. And if you rely on this kind of network gear, you're right in the crosshairs.
Okay, so let's unpack that. Let's start with the who. Who's getting hit the hardest right now?
Geographically, no huge surprise at the very top. The U.S. is still the main target. Hugely dominant, actually.
What's the number?
54.20% of victim locations in this period. That kind of focus, it's consistent.
Okay, 54% U.S., but you said that's not the whole story geographically?
Right, because there was a big mover, South Korea.
South Korea. Okay, that is interesting. How high up?
Shot right into the top 5, 7.69%. And the report's very specific here.
How so?
This wasn't some gradual increase. It was basically one huge event, a massive data dump linked to, quote, Qilin ransomware.
Wow. So one big hit can totally skew the victim map.
Absolutely. Showed how a single successful large-scale op can just reshape things almost overnight.
All right, let's talk sectors. Who are they hitting industry-wise?
Okay, top 3 are financial services. That's 18.53%.
Makes sense. Always a target.
Then construction at 17.13%.
Wait, construction? Ahead of tech.
Yep. Technology is third at 16.08%. Financial and tech, obvious targets, high-value data. But construction in second place. That's fascinating.
It really is. What's the thinking there? Why construction?
Well, you could call it the construction problem. It's quite revealing about attacker calculus, I think.
How so? They're following the money, but
maybe where the defenses aren't quite as mature. Think about it. Construction firms have tons of valuable data, blueprints, big project details, client lists, IP.
High-value stuff.
Definitely high value, but historically, maybe they haven't invested in cyber defense the same way a big bank has.
So it's perceived as lower effort for a high reward.
That seems to be the play, yeah.
Okay, now here's the part that, it really jumped out at me. And it's crucial if you, the listener, are trying to figure out where to focus your defenses. Org size.
This stat is stark.
Small businesses.
Right.
Defined here as 500 employees or fewer, they account for it. Wait for it. 81.47% of victims.
81%. Let's just pause on that.
It's staggering.
It really is. This isn't just a number. It's arguably the key takeaway for defense strategy right now.
So mid-market is what, about 13%?
Yeah.
And large enterprise only 5%?
Roughly, yeah. 13.29 for mid-market, 5.24 for large enterprise. Think about the implications.
If you spend all your resources securing one massive company,
you're addressing maybe 5% of the reported attack volume.
Yeah.
But if you secure, say, 50 small or medium businesses,
you're covering over 80% of where the attacks are actually landing.
It completely flips the perspective, doesn't it?
It does. So are the attackers just avoiding the big guys because it's harder, opting for volume? Or is it more strategic?
I think it's highly calculated resource management. Large companies have mature incident response legal teams. They fight back hard.
Right. More friction.
Exactly. Small businesses, often easier to breach, maybe more likely to pay a smaller ransom quickly just to get back online.
And the volume adds up?
The volume makes the revenue stream more reliable for the attackers, less risk, steady income.
Okay. So we know it's overwhelmingly small businesses being hit. Now, the weapons, what are they using? Ransomware is still king.
Oh, yeah. Undisputed king of cybercrime finance. Qilin holds that top spot, 21.07% of incidents observed in this period.
Consistent player. But what about movement? That tells a story too.
And that's where it gets really interesting. Qilin's steady, but look at the others. Akira's been climbing aggressively.
Weren't they fourth last time?
They were. Now they're second at 11.64%. That's determined growth.
And Play ransomware. I remember them being much lower down.
Much lower. They surged into the top 3. Just 2 reporting periods ago, they were 12th.
12th to top 3. That's not organic growth.
No, that screams aggressive scaling. Marketing, targeting, operations, they invested heavily.
But the biggest shocker in the rankings
Has to be Qilin Security. This is the standout mover.
Where do they come from?
They were way down, 27th place. They vaulted straight into the top 5.
27th to 5th in one period.
It's like some unknown startup blowing past established giants overnight. It just underscores the speed. A new threat can gain massive scale incredibly quickly in this ecosystem.
Beyond those big ransomware names, the report flags some other malware. New stuff, or maybe trending things with different goals.
Yeah, definitely need to look beyond just ransomware. We need to understand the consequences of these other tools.
Okay, what should we highlight?
First, there's Brickstorm. The report characterizes it as disruptive, aimed at causing chaos during a compromise.
So not just encrypting, but actively breaking things.
Pretty much. Maximum operational disruption seems to be the goal. Wrecking systems.
Nasty. What else?
Then, MetaStealer. And this is important for a lot of users, especially outside big corporate networks. It's specifically Mac focus.
An info stealer for Macs.
Exactly. It chips away at that old idea that Macs are somehow immune. Threat actors are definitely diversifying to hit Apple users too.
And the one with the worrying name, Shai-Hulud.
Yes. Named after the Dune sandworms, which tells you something.
Worm-like traits, right? Self-spreading.
That's the concern. Significant worries about self-propagation. It doesn't need constant commands. Once it's in, it can potentially spread rapidly on its own, like wildfire.
That raises the stakes considerably. Any state-linked stuff new.
Yeah, activity linked to the Iranian group Nimbus Manticore. They're using these lightweight loaders, mini browse and mini junk.
Loaders. So designed to just open the door.
Essentially, yeah. Small, stealthy tools designed purely to establish a foothold and maintain persistence. Then they drop the main espionage payloads later.
Okay, so we have the who, the what, now the how. How are they getting in? You mentioned the Cisco issue up front.
And we really have to hammer this home. The report shows repeated, critical exploitation of those flaws in Cisco ASA and iOS XE devices.
This isn't theoretical.
Not at all. Real-world evidence, like the ArcaneDoor campaign mentioned in reports, attackers are actively using known bugs in these core devices to just bypass perimeter defenses entirely.
Straight to the heart of the network.
Exactly. That's why patching these is absolutely critical.
Beyond Cisco, what other vulnerabilities are being actively hit right now, according to the brief? What should teams be patching like mad?
Well, we're seeing continued attacks against Fortress Go Anywhere MFT.
MFT managed file transfer.
Right. That's the secure way large orgs move massive, often sensitive or regulated data sets around. Hitting that is like hitting the vault.
Gives access to the crown jewels, potentially.
Potentially, yeah. Also, still critical is the vulnerability in Google's Chromium V8 engine.
That's the engine in Chrome, Edge, lots of browsers, right? Runs the code on websites.
Correct. It runs JavaScript and WebAssembly. Exploiting V8 allows for those nasty browser-based attacks. Sometimes all it takes is visiting the wrong website.
Leads to full system compromise, potentially.
It can, yeah.
And connecting back to that huge number, the 81% small business victims, there was even a note about simpler hardware.
Yes, good point. The vulnerability in Western digital MyCloud devices, home or small office network storage.
Right.
It's a really important reminder. Sometimes the easiest way into a smaller network isn't some complex zero-day against a server.
It's the unpatched storage box in the corner.
Exactly. Attackers will always probe for the path of least resistance, the lowest friction entry point.
Okay, let's pivot slightly. Look at the actors themselves, the groups. Their motivations. We've got the spies and the crooks. What's new with the state-sponsored espionage side?
The espionage groups are, well, relentlessly professional. Take APT28, Fancy Bear, usually linked to Russian interests.
What are they up to?
They've deployed a new backdoor specifically for Microsoft Outlook. They're calling it NotDoor.
New and custom for Outlook. Why is that significant?
It shows a strategic effort to bypass standard Microsoft security. Building custom tools for specific, widely used platforms like Outlook is about maintaining that stealthy, long-term access for intelligence gathering.
Very targeted. What about others?
We saw Mustang Kanda, linked to China hitting a Philippine military company. Classic targeted intel gathering.
Specific objective.
And another China-based group, Phantom Taurus, seems laser-focused on government and telco sectors globally. Again, underlines the geopolitical drivers behind many of these high-end attacks.
Okay, so that's the espionage side. What about the pure cybercrime gangs? The ones causing immediate disruption and financial pain?
Well, we have to talk about Scattered Spider. They're known for social engineering.
They moved into ransomware, right?
Fully embraced it. And here's the key thing. The report says they remain highly active despite some recent high-profile arrests.
So taking out a few members doesn't stop them.
It suggests their operational structure is resilient, adaptable, maybe decentralized. They can weather arrests and keep going.
That's concerning. And there was that other interesting niche threat you mentioned, targeting developers.
Yes. White Cobra. This is fascinating. They're reportedly responsible for planning, maybe distributing, 24 malicious extensions for code editors.
Targeting VS Code and OpenVSX, the tools developers use every day.
Exactly. It's a supply chain attack at the source. If you compromise the developer's tools,
You potentially compromise everything they build downstream.
that's the danger. It's a very strategic target. And we can't forget the non-financial threats either.
Like influence ops?
Right. Storm 1516, identified as a Russian group focused purely on influence and disinformation campaigns. A reminder that not every threat wants money. Some just want to sow chaos or distrust.
Yeah, okay. A lot of threats out there. Let's shift gears, though. It's not all doom and gloom. The report does detail some significant pushback, right? Good news.
Definitely. There's effective work being done by law enforcement and security firms. Victories worth highlighting.
Like what? On the defensive side.
Cloudflare successfully stopped a massive DDoS attack. New record-breaking size, actually 22.2 terabits per second.
Wow. And their defenses held.
They held. That's a huge win. A potentially crippling disruption that just didn't happen because the engineering worked.
That's good to hear. And law enforcement. Are they making dents?
They seem to be hitting the money side hard. Canada took down the Trade Ogre crypto exchange.
Was that used for laundering?
Believed to be a key platform for it, yeah. They seized $40 million in crypto there.
40 million. And globally.
Globally, the report notes police seizures totaling around $439 million from various cybercrime rings.
That's nearly $500 million. That has to hurt their operations.
It absolutely does. It disrupts their ability to scale, to hire talent, buy new tools, pay for infrastructure. It's a very effective way to apply pressure, an operational blockade, really.
And arrests. We heard about some of those.
Yes, making headlines. The UK arrested some teenagers linked to that Scattered Spider crew, the ones who hit Transport for London.
Right. And wasn't there another arrest tied to airport disruptions?
Yeah, a suspect linked to the RTX ransomware attacks that caused problems at airports. So real-world consequences for individuals involved.
Good. And tech companies fighting back, too.
Google's action is notable. They removed 224 malicious Android apps from the Play Store.
What were they doing?
Linked to a massive ad fraud campaign. So Google cleaning house internally. It feels like the counterattack is becoming more unified, hitting the tech, the money, and the people.
Okay, let's try and synthesize this. If you, listening, take away just 3 core things from this whole brief, this snapshot of late September, what should they be?
Okay, 3 key takeaways. First, the target profile has flipped. Small businesses are now the overwhelming majority of victims, over 80%. Your defense focus needs to reflect that reality.
Got it. Number 1, SMBs are the main target.
Second, the threat landscape is incredibly dynamic. Yes, Qilin leads, but groups like Kill Security show that new, powerful threats can emerge and scale shockingly fast. You can't just watch the known players.
Number 2, high velocity, high change in the threat actors.
And third, critical infrastructure, specifically those Cisco, ASA, and iOS XE devices, are under intense, active attack. Patching isn't optional, it's urgent. Attackers want core control, not just data theft from these systems.
Number 3, core network gear is under siege. Patch immediately.
Okay.
So we see these successes, right? The arrests, Scattered Spider members, huge money seizures.
The pushback is real.
But then, like you said, you see Kill Security just explode onto the scene 27th to 5th almost instantly. It makes you wonder.
Yeah.
Here's the final thought for you to chew on. We see these high-profile arrests, these big takedowns. What effect does that actually have on the global rate of cybercrime long term? Is the real weak link the individual motivation of the people getting caught? Or is the fundamental problem the underlying security infrastructure? The vulnerabilities that allow literally hundreds of new groups to pop up, tool up, and scale almost instantly whenever one gets taken down.
That vulnerability in the infrastructure, it creates this constantly fertile ground for crime cycles. That's the deep challenge, isn't it?
Something to think about. Keep digging into those threats, keep patching, and we'll be back for the next deep dive.
Reach out to us at jbyer.com for comments and questions. Follow us at Byer Company on social media, and if you'd be so kind, please rate and review us in your podcast app.